That is Rema coming through with Baby and displaying right here on Kenya's #1 hit music station, Kiss FM. If you've just tuned in, guys, we are grateful because in studio we've got the CEO of Safaricom, Mr. Peter Ndegwa. Karibu sana Morning Kiss.
Thank you, Sheila.
And
thank you, Kerry.
If you don't know, man, Safaricom is celebrating this year. It's all about milestones.
Yeah.
Right. This year, Safaricom turns 25.
Imagine 25.
That.
M-Pesa turns 18.
Yo, and M-Pesa Foundation turns 15. So to tell the story, we invited the CEO because who better to tell the story than hearing it from the horse's mouth?
Yeah.
Karibu sana, Mr. Peter Ndegwa.
Asante. Thank you, Sheila.
Let's get into it. The foundation.
Yeah. What inspired the creation of M-Pesa Foundation 15 years ago?
Yeah. I think before I go to the M-Pesa Foundation,
Yeah.
you're right, it's a year of birthdays. We
Yeah.
started last year with 24 years celebration. Then we ran Sambaza Furaha, which was a caravan across the country.
Yeah.
Very, very popular. One of the best rated caravans. But it was a setup for this year because this year is special for Safaricom. We are celebrating 25 in October as Safaricom because we were started in 2000. And then M-Pesa is a very big milestone. This month, on the 17th, we kicked off the 18th celebration. And today is M-Pesa Foundation birthday. So I should be having a cake here. I'm not sure why I don't have one. But I think the thing is the story of M-Pesa has been really fantastic because we began the business in 2007 just as a way of transferring money from one person to the other, has grown into an empowering tool for the country. Now, we can talk about the services we offer.
Yeah.
But 3 years later, even before M-Pesa made profit, we started the foundation,
Oh, wow.
which is about focusing on those areas that impact community. Yesterday, I was in Siaya, just visiting the county. It wasn't linked to the actual celebration, and we did a groundbreaking in a place called Tingare, which is on the border between Siaya and Kakamega, and it is a health center which M-Pesa Foundation is going to spend 50 million to refurbish and make sure that it becomes a big experience. So M-Pesa has been supporting community. We've invested about 11 billion since M-Pesa Foundation was started. We actually spend more money on the foundation than even we spend on our brand, Safaricom or even M-Pesa in terms of advertising. But it goes to supporting education, health, economic empowerment, environment, all those elements. That's the untold story.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But if you went around the country and you asked people, which foundation do you recognize? I'm sure Safaricom and M-Pesa will show up.
Yeah.
And not just because they are big brands, but
Yeah.
because they have impact on the ground.
Oh.
Speaking of impact, let's talk about education.
Yeah.
Because, it's one thing to mention, but
Yeah.
it's another thing to help someone see what has been the impact of the M-Pesa Foundation in education.
So education is a very big pillar. We know that education is what gives people access to opportunity in future. If you give kids education, you give them opportunity regardless of socioeconomic.
Yeah.
And therefore that's why education is such a foundational area that we focus on. We spent about 5.5 billion since M-Pesa Foundation was started, and this does not include the academy, which many people know, the M-Pesa Academy near Thika. And this year we are launching something we are called Citizens of the Future, which is about a big program that we want to support about 600 schools over a 5-year period. And we've already started, which is about refurbishing, actually many times redoing the schools because many of these schools were constructed in the 50s and 60s and 70s. So they're already aging infrastructure. So it's about putting new infrastructure, putting equipment, ensuring that we support the whole piece, not just and primarily focusing on the early education, ECD and primary, and ensuring that the facilities that the kids have, including libraries, computers. So we do the whole thing, and education is the foundation. So 600.
Wow.
So almost have 100 schools every year.
Citizens of the Future.
Citizens of the Future.
I love it.
It's a new program, and so you'll see us launching schools all over the country.
Yeah.
And in every single county, or in the 47 counties of this country, there will be programs and our citizens of the future.
I
Just
like
before
that.
we get to
Yeah.
health, if there's, had these schools already been selected or?
No. I mean, of course, for the ones we are already doing the work, those have been selected. And usually, what we would do, we would partner with the local county administration, the local. Because education is at a national level, the Ministry of Education.
Yeah.
But a lot of it would be schools reaching out to us. So we have a lot of people who write to the Safaricom Foundation and also M-Pesa Foundation. And then the trustees would look at a criteria, which is the school that has the biggest need, they will have the biggest impact, that is in an area that requires support, where parents can't afford to actually really ramp up. But also we select schools that would be hub examples in the area, so that if you set up a library, it can be used by the neighboring schools. If you set up a computer area, it can be used in a neighboring school. So a couple of years ago, although this was not done by M-Pesa Foundation, done by in support by the Safaricom Foundation, I went to my own primary school in Nyandarua near Nyahururu.
What's the name of
What's
the
the name?
A school called Gaidaithia. Can you imagine? God help me.
Gaidavia.
I heard you in an interview. You said you used to walk barefoot to school. Is that the same school?
Is the same school.
Gaidavia.
Wow.
Gaidavia.
Uh-huh.
Gaidavia. Yeah. So this was it's an example, but we've done very many schools, and I'm sure if you call if you asked your listeners to call in, they will know a school that M-Pesa
Absolutely.
Foundation has been involved.
And it's interesting you mentioned that that the school is a hub, because it's a hub for the community.
Yes.
And there's someone yesterday, I saw a tweet and they were challenging what do they call, alumni, because yours is Gaidevi. Right?
Yeah, and Starehe, of course.
And Starehe,
Yeah.
right? Stop buying school buses. Like, instead build, a hub, like a computer lab or something, or an AI hub, because that's the future. And I love that. I love this project, Citizens of the Future.
Yeah.
And
Actually, the way we, for example, give computers, so we have 6,000 plus employees, and they would many of them would have computers. When those computers are a certain age, we would refurbish those computers and give them back to schools. And by the way, this have a very major impact. Anytime when we give schools computers, we see the literacy levels actually improve significantly.
Absolutely.
Especially in secondary school, we see a school that was getting the B or C going to A. I remember gifting some computers to Starehe, and the Starehe class that has been doing computing has been having A every year.
Oh, wow.
100 people every year for the past 3 years.
So you
So
see?
it makes a huge impact. And also, you don't have to install computers in every school. They can share. Yeah, because it's not possible to get the level of facilities in every school.
If you just tuned in, guys, we're talking about M-Pesa Foundation at 15. Today is the 15th birthday, and we're talking about some of the amazing things that M-Pesa Foundation is doing. Now, we've touched on education.
Yeah.
But if there's a place that also needs a lot of love in Kenya, is healthcare. And Kenyans can tell you that access to healthcare sometimes can be hectic. But M-Pesa Foundation is doing something on that side.
Absolutely. And now that, Peter, you're here, we'd like to find out, what's M-Pesa Foundation's approach in improving healthcare access?
So we, at Safaricom, since we were started, we have a purpose. We say, although we offer services in communication and mobile money, our purpose is transform lives. So in the first instance, we should improve how communities live their lives. And that's the reason why the two foundations were set up. So in terms of the choices, so whether it's education, healthcare, or economic empowerment, is those areas that either really have a major impact on communities. So on healthcare, we know there are so many government facilities that are spread across the country. So we partner with counties, primarily because health is devolved. We support primarily level 4 hospitals, and because they are referral hospitals, because we can make major interventions, especially in maternity and postnatal care, nurseries, and so on and so forth. But also, so because if we look after health for women and children, we believe that we can make a major impact. So we don't do everything.
Yeah.
We focus. So, for example, if a a county. I've been to, say, Kilifi County, and we are doing maternity, which we have been involved with the M-Pesa Foundation. We would say the county constructs the building, we equip the maternity, and also give all the elements, all the equipment that is required to be able to ensure that both the pre and the postnatal care is very good, and it's at a world standard. We also support level 3 hospitals. Yesterday I was in Siaya, in Tigade, where we were breaking ground on a health facility that has been, people are traveling very many kilometers, 25 kilometers, to the referral hospitals. But now, with the support that we are going to be giving to Tingare, we are going to spend 50 million. I understand that is about 30 women who give birth every month. So that will increase, I'm told, will triple, because those who have been traveling to other health facilities will be absorbed there. So it is about those areas that have the biggest impact. So maternal and child care. Then those hospitals that are primarily referral, or those hospitals in places that then decongest the big hospitals, and ensure that people are not traveling into. So that's the main support. But we also have done many other big programs. But we look at statistics by county. So those counties that they have the lowest access to healthcare are the ones we start with. Samburu, Kilifi, Baringo, Homa Bay. Those have been counties that we have been focusing on. So we don't go to every county. So in places where we believe the county can be able to do the work,
can manage,
or the statistics are better, we focus on the more lower. Even on the environment side, we choose those programs like the Kakamega Forest that will have a much bigger impact. And we work with both the Ministry of Environment, the Kenya Forest Service, and all the partners that are involved. It's all about partnership. And so we've been involved across the country. We've been involved in the Abadeas, we've been involved in the Mau Forest, we've been involved, of course, Kakamega, we've been involved even here in Nairobi. We are going to do the city park.
Oh, wow.
We're going to refurbish it from the very, so that it becomes a great experience. So we are solving both an environmental issue, but also the way people are educated about looking after the environment, because we know environment is a major issue in our country. Tree cover is still very low. So we support the ecosystem, but also work with what we call community forest associations. So we don't just work by ourselves. We work with the community forest associations, so that we are empowering also local community to look after their own environment. And we talk about growing trees. We don't just plant trees. We grow trees. We adopt land, especially. So in the smaller projects, we adopt land. In the bigger ones, we actually completely change the way the community looks after environment.
I love what M-Pesa Foundation is doing, and thank you so much for taking the time to be here this morning. I know you have a busy schedule, but I have to ask you. I know that
I was wondering when you are going to ask about the party.
You don't have to. I have to. I have to. My listeners are here just asking, hey, is he going to be there? We want to know. Tonight, of course, in fact, the party starts at 2 p.m. Are we going to see you there?
Yes, I'm still trying to find out what I'll wear. Turning 18, you know. If I'm in front of lots of 18-year-olds or 25-year-olds. So, yes, today is the big party. M-Pesa turning 18 is big news. This is a $1 billion business. So you don't celebrate with small parties. You know, so you actually make sure the party fits the bill. So we are expecting huge numbers at Uhuru Park. It's very simple to actually come for the party. You just need to get onto the M-Pesa app, opt in into the M-Pesa app. and then subscribe to a bundle which is worth 20 shillings.
Imagine.
So it isn't one of those things, come and pay 5,000 shillings and then just come with your dancing shoes.
Yep.
I'm sure there is enough musicians, there is enough DJs.
Yeah.
All your favorite people will be there.
Absolutely.
The big thing is, what will I wear?
Are you-
I will
are
be
you-
coming. I will be coming.
You'll be there.
Are you ready to dance for 18 hours?
Yes, I will.
Yeah?
I will try to dance. I'm not sure I'll be able to dance like an 18-year-old, but I can try.
You'll manage your
Yeah.
best.
I will,
I'll show you a
yeah.
move or two. I'll
Yeah.
show you a move or two. Guys,
Yeah.
remember?
Are you guys going to be there?
I'm going to be
Oh, yes.
hosting.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
going to be hosting. So make sure you guys come through
Yes.
M-Pesa at 18. We'll tell
Yes.
you more about that.
Yes.
But right now, Anza kutafta dancing shoes.
Yes.
I know there's a Gen Z who's asking, Hiya, what are dancing shoes?
Yes,
It's 7:23.
Saturdays 3 p.m. It's time for the score.